Hey guys, welcome back to the channel today. This is the engine that I drove 12 hours one way to get last week. I have it now mounted to an engine stand. I've got it flipped over. I had to take the oil pan off of it because the gentleman I got it from had put a rear sump oil pan on it. I think he had to swap it off the engine that he was using for his Pinto or something. But anyway, so I've got to put the front sump oil pan on it, but to do that, I have to remove the engine out of the Pinto, take the oil pan off of it because it is the correct oil pan, and put it onto here. Okay guys, here it is. I think I've got it ready to go. The hardest part that I had was wrestling the starter out of there. So I was able to get it out. You got to do a twisty twist and a bump to get that thing out of there. I had to take these brackets off of the other engine so I could mount my pull chain on here. I've already got a jack under the transmission. I jacked it up just a tiny bit. There was a crack that opened up between the bell housing and the engine, so I know it's loose and ready to go. Well, it's out. The reason I couldn't leave the torque converter in place is because I can't move the motor. So there's bolts that I can't get to with it in the car. So that's why I had to pull it out like this. What I got to do now is drain the oil in it because I forgot to drain it. So I'm going to drain the oil that's in it, then take this oil pan off, put the other one on there, and set this motor to the side. Okay, as I started to remove this oil pan, I found some evidence here of something that means for sure this motor is no good. If you look right there, it looks like something's came loose inside and bashed the side of this oil pan. Okay, well here it is out of the car. I've got the other oil pan on it now. I'll take the one off of it and put on the good engine. Even though I don't totally know what's wrong with this engine, I'm going to hold on to it because it's still got a lot of good parts on it. Here's what it looks like without the engine in it. I've got a lot of work to do in here. There's a lot of rust back there on the firewall I've got to figure out some way to take care of. I've also decided that I'm going to go ahead and remove this transmission, and I'm going to rebuild it and the engine that I went and got. So while I'm trying to accumulate enough funds to do that, I'm going to go ahead and start cleaning up inside this engine bay, trying to get rid of that rust. So that's going to be the plan of attack now. So let's go and get this transmission out of here. First thing I got to do is remove the speedometer cable and the shifting linkage, I suppose. And then I'm going to remove these transmission cross member bracket bolts. Then hopefully it's balanced enough I can let it down with this jack that I have here. And then my plan is to drag it out from underneath the car. I'm undoing the shifting linkage now. I'm gonna let the cooling lines just drop down with it. I think that'll work, so that's what we're gonna try to do. So what I gotta do next is get these bolts out, these cross member bolts. Okay, one cross member bolt is out. I will be in a second. This thing may try to fall. What happens here? Not sure what's going to happen here. It may literally just fall out. I have no idea what this thing weighs. Uh-oh. Yeah, I think it's just going to fall out from under here. Well, it don't like to come through here, unfortunately, I don't think. Well, there it is. The fluid coming out of it's still nice and red, so it's probably not anything really wrong with this thing, but I'm going to rebuild it anyways. Now that I've got this engine bay totally cleaned out, or for the most part, I still got to remove the master cylinder, the coil, this washer thing, probably take the wires loose. I want to start cleaning and repairing the rust within this area right here. I will probably remove the front fenders. Probably that piece up there, hopefully I can remove that, I'm not sure. And start trying to eliminate the rust within this area. I also want to do a lot of cleaning down here. I want to remove the rack and pinion steering out of it, check that out, get all that cleaned up, all that nasty grease away. I may even go ahead and paint this thing. I know I'll at least prime it, but that's what we're going to do next. Well, that's going to complete this video. I appreciate it that you took the time to watch it. I would also really appreciate it if you consider subscribing, liking, and tapping the bell icon so that you can be made aware of future videos. So until we see you again, have a great day, and may God bless you.